No.
See, it's appropriate time. I'd like to call the October Park and Rec Committee meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Were there any changes to the agenda? Ginger, any changes to the agenda?
No,
I look for a motion to adopt the agenda. Motion made by Bernie, second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I look for approval of the September 3rd, 2023 meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve the September 3rd.
John Hass made the motion, Bernie seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment? Seeing none. We'll go to consider the Wapaka County Emergency Management Tower installation on city property. Ginger?
yeah, so I brought Andy Carlin and then the Sheriff Wills with tonight just to explain their proposal. The installation would be on the sled hill on top above the municipal garage, so.
All right, hey, I'm Andy Carlin, Emergency Management Director for Wapaka County. One of the things I kind of got put on my plate about 15 years ago was taking care of the communication stuff for Wapaka County. Not like the individual radios, but like the towers, the main structures for all law enforcement, fire, EMS, highway. It's actually the Sheriff's Department runs all this stuff, but I kind of manage all the stuff. 2010, we did a big build. We added some channels, we added some new towers at that time, and we were put on the water tower up here, Flannel Hill. And it works okay. Water towers aren't the best for us, but for funding at the time, that's what we had money for, to get better communication here. So it's been our long-term goal to get to a better location. And ARPA funding helped us this year. We had some extra money left over and we had enough to construct a tower over here, which is going to be fantastic for all public safety, for the police, fire, EMS, highway department, just to get our frequency better. And we'll be able to, my long-term goal is to get some more redundancy in our system. So right now, our towers, we have 10 different towers around Wapaka County that communicate together. And so when somebody talks on a frequency, it goes off on all those towers at the exact same time. It's all timed. It's got GPS timing stuff on it. It's way over my head, but it works. Right now we've got a few frequencies that we're not able to put on the water tower up here. Just because we don't have room. Anytime that we have antennas together, which we do now up on top of the water tank, because we don't have, the vertical height. It numbs it up and it doesn't work as well. And that's why we want to be on a tower, because then we have separation. You'll never see two antennas together on a tower. They're always separated and it's 20-foot antennas. So it takes height to do that. So anyways, for all of our towers to communicate, there's a microwave dish. You'll see a big white dish, and that sends the signal from one tower to the next. And right now, to get our frequency here, it goes from Wapaka to our Fremont tower, and then up to the New London tower, which is normal, because then our other ones goes like Wapaka to Simcoe to Marion, and then up around the west side too. But we want to eventually get a ring around our county. So once we get this taller tower in, we'll have a better opportunity to connect to our center tower, which is Simcoe, just north of Manawa. So that'll give us a ring. So if we ever had a failure between Wapaka and Fremont, or Fremont and New London, right now we would lose that. We would lose this tower. It would be off the air, and then we'd be relying on the other towers to page out fire departments or to talk to local law enforcement or sheriff's department or anybody that's in this area. And it just makes it a little more difficult. But if we can get that ring, and to do that, we need a tower. We need to get higher. With radio frequencies, it's all line of sight stuff. So the higher that we can get our frequencies to transmit, the better coverage it is for our responders that are out there. So we're looking at, with that funding open up with ARPA, we were able to get enough to, build a pretty nice tower. And our compounds, all of our compounds are pretty much the same. It's a tower and we put up they call it a lattice tower. It's not one of the big guy wires or anything like that. It's just like a triangle structure that goes up. You've seen them around. But we call that a lattice tower. It's self-supporting, so you don't need cables or anything out and about. So it's just got a big cement base underneath it, and that weight's actually what holds the tower up. It won't be any higher than a 300-foot tower. But it all depends on, we have to have microwave studies done to see what heights we need to clear the trees to see the Fremont Tower, because it has to be line of sight. It has to see that other dish without trees in the way or buildings in the way. And same with the line to Simcoe. So actually we'll be here Friday. If you approve this, we'll be on top of the hill Friday, getting some coordinates and stuff with our engineer and stuff to do that. But you know, it's going to be great for the PD and fire department and stuff here. It's gonna be a lot better set up. So what the compound's gonna look like is the tower. We have real nice looking cement buildings that we put in. All our equipment goes inside of that building. Then outside of the building, there's a generator and a LP tank. And that's pretty much all that's at our structures. And then there's like a chain link fence around it just to keep, we don't like people to climb our towers. So we put fences around it.
So it'll be operation if we have a local power failure?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, all my stuff, all of our towers have a UPS backup and a generator, and it's all automatic. It's all tested every week, every Monday morning, all of our, at random times, they all test, go under load and test.
Any other questions?
What does this do to our sled now?
It would stay operational. The location that they are looking at is behind it, kind of right here in the wood pile that's sitting right here right now. But, Luke and the guys have been clearing that for the possibility, so.
Has there been any other locations discussed?
We looked at a few different ones. There's just not a lot around. I mean, we're by the river, so we're low. And this spot is actually higher than where we're currently at. I mean, ground level is actually higher, which I was surprised, a few feet, but you know, that close to the river, I thought we'd be lower, but there's just with the river and stuff here, there's just not a lot of opportunities to put one. And being already municipal owned, it just makes it a lot easier for us to move in on that.
And so maybe up by Forest Hill would be higher.
Yeah, I thought that too, but we ran some studies with our GIS stuff. Yeah, surprised me.
We're looking for an approval of,
Yeah, to consider, it's exactly how it would be set on the agenda there.
Make a motion to consider a Pack County emergency management tower installation on city property.
Second.
Just to confirm that is not going to change the footprint of our recreational sledding.
Correct.
if you got a motion made by John, seconded by
Bernie?
Bernie,
Mhm.
all in favor? Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay.
Thank you.
You guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it without you.
Have a good
We'll
evening.
see you on
gentlemen.
Friday.
Yeah, see you Friday.
Okay,
Hey, Ginger. Yeah, Mr. Dorsey isn't here, huh?
yeah, I'm kind of, okay, but
We're looking for the consideration of donation of the sound system for Quiet Park.
yes, so, I first have to commend youth baseball for going through the steps, going through, doing the research on this. This is a very similar system as we have at Hatton Stadium. They would be paying for it in full. They would be putting it, having it installed in full. We do have an agreement with them. It's just a memorandum of understanding that I would put together that say down the road, there's nobody there right now that's in charge of youth baseball in 5 years. and something goes wrong with it, just so that we both understand as parties that, you know, if it's a big cost, we can help them with it, but otherwise, you know, everything is dependent on them to fix anything that might go wrong with it. And then also, that it's available for the public. This is a public park. If somebody wants to rent it for a special event, they can use this sound system as well. So, and they agreed to that. So,
Have they thought anything of, is there gonna be a time limit on when they could be having the speakers, you know, going like ball games and stuff at night, so you're not disturbing the neighborhood?
park is open till 9, and that's their deadline. That's their time that it would have to be shut off by.
I'm
Yeah.
just curious because you got all houses all the way along there.
Yeah, and they
Okay.
want it to be able to carry, it will be used also as a public service announcement system, so they'll not only be playing music on it, you know, in between innings and stuff like that, but then also for missing kids and things like that, or hey, half off hot dogs, you know, so they do want it to carry to all the fields, which is pretty loud. So just so that they are under the understanding that that is only for that use when it's that loud.
Anybody else have any other questions, concerns? I look for a motion to consider the donation to the sound system for Piper Park from the London Youth Baseball Association.
Second.
Motion made by Bernie, second by John Pache. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay.
Okay, the water installation, Ginger.
All right, so once again, we're at Pfeiffer Park. I'm gonna commend youth baseball for dotting all their i's and crossing all their t's with this project. For the, as long as I've been here, Pfeiffer's been a very dusty park. You have to literally either pour out hundreds of yards of hose or watering bucket yourself, to water the fields. So their plan is to, do these water lines. New London Utilities has graciously decided that they will support this project and do it for us at no cost, which is amazing. The only thing that youth baseball will have to cover then is the plumbing. So they'll have to have a master plumber come in and do the plumbing to the building and to the outlets. But New London Utilities is doing the rest of the work for them. This will have a water line to each field to allow for a sprinkler system. They haven't decided what they would like for a spigot at the end of it, but nothing, you know, fancy like the Hatton Stadium one that requires a lot of maintenance. If there would be a need for maintenance at each tee, there would be a shut off that's buried just below ground where we can shut it off, work on that, and then, you know, it won't affect the rest of the system, so.
They're gonna be similar to Memorial Park where they have the right underneath the concession, or not the tower anyway.
It might be that's an option. They're not really sure what they want to do with that portion of it yet. But yeah, it'll be right next to the field like that.
What about winterization?
We will do the winterization along with the city utilities, like we do with all of the parks. That'll be our maintenance.
What do you got?
Will that make it easier to get water over to the restroom like we were talking about?
For Pfeiffer?
Yeah.
Well, I don't,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Memorial. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
this is at Pfeiffer.
Would there be some kind of lock and key or something like that? I mean, this.
Yeah, so the heads will be off when nobody's using the diamonds, and then the inlet will actually be in the locked utility storage area. They had it set up to do this already when they built the shed. So that's all under lock and key, yep. And it will be separately metered so that we can kind of watch how much they're using to see if it's an extra cost to us. If it's not a substantial cost to the city, we would probably just eat that. But if somebody happens to leave it on for a full weekend and it's running out water, we would probably charge them for something like that, incidental, so. I know accidents happen, so.
We would would that be set up possibly that it's strictly water use? And not sewer use, because the price of water is
Yeah,
way low compared to
Right.
sewer.
right, yep,
That would, it's not actually going into our sewer system.
right, yep,
So it-
utilities will have that.
Yeah.
Separated, yeah.
The other concerns, questions? And I look for a motion to consider the donation of a water line installation at Pfeiffer Park from the London Youth Baseball Association.
So moved.
Motion by John Hass, second by Bernie.
Me,
Huh?
that was me that.
Oh, sorry, John. Today. Many Johns. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Okay.
Opposed? Motion carried.
John seconded.
Will that get in for the next
I made the
season?
You
motion.
made the motion.
Yeah, they have to do it this fall.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so this was kind of a last minute addition. Sorry, I should not I should let you go.
Go ahead.
For the handicap seating at the, yeah. How do I zoom this in? Oh, this is a different system than I have in my office. So Hatton Stadium Foundation, if you haven't been down to peek your head into the stadium, they are working on the seating right now. It looks really good. They're doing a very thorough job. But it kind of sets us up for our next phase. And that would be to put the handicap seating platform in front of the stadium seating. And then also a protective netting that would it would eliminate the need for the chain link fence to go back up, leaving a really nice clean look to the stadium. Right now, we are accepting the donation of the handicap seating for $13,350 from the Hatton Stadium Foundation. The net system, we're gonna have in another conversation, because the cost of it is between $20,000 to $50,000, so that may be an ask from the Foundation to help pay for half of that. I am wondering if I can find. I don't show my picture of it. But. For sure. It would include the handicap seating is a vote today, so. Let me just see if I can. Show you a picture of it. This all came to me last week on Friday, so. I don't think I have it. I don't have access to my email on this computer, so I can't really show you an example of it, but what it would be, and I don't know, Jim, if you want to explain it a little bit, but it's the plan is to have a platform in front of the seating area, which there's plenty of room between home plate and the seating area to have this section that's wheelchair accessible, so they can just, there's no lip to it, and you can just wheel up essentially to a seating area where we can have, either people setting up their lawn chairs, or if they're in a chair, they can use their chair, obviously, so. And then it would have a 4-foot wall in front of them, and then with the netting in front of them as well, so.
And that's gonna be the width of what that whole fence is now, okay? So it's like 120 some feet. That, you'll be able to get handicapped people in there. And hopefully that will allow some of the older people that come in, and then they won't have to use the stadium seating. Because those are some pretty high steps in there.
How much room would there be in there for, say, for handicap, for wheelchairs and stuff? in
Yep.
that area?
I can't remember the dimensions of it even. Sorry, I should have been more prepared with that.
So if they're doing netting in front of the handicap seating, would you be taking down the fence in front of everyone?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
it would be a really clean. I have it all in my email. But
Maybe just send it to us all tomorrow so we can see it.
yeah, I can definitely do that.
Thanks.
So we're not looking for a motion, we're just considering, we don't know how much it is.
Considering the netting, we do know how much the exception of the donation for the handicap seating is, and that was
13,350.
That's
Yeah.
13,350.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking for, a motion to
Yeah.
approve the 13,350.
mhm.
That's for the new handicap seating platform.
Yes,
I'll make a motion to
What are you seating at?
accept the donation of the handicap seating,
thank you.
or what did you say, 13,350?
13,350. Got a motion to accept. Got a second?
I'll second it.
Motion made by John Hass, a second by Bernie. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, Ginger, now you got your capital projects, your wish list.
It is definitely a wish list. I will upfront tell you that none of the, I personally can't have any like priority. I know that I'm asking a lot, and it'll have to just be sorted out through our capital projects meetings with the internal staff, but this is what we've been working on as a committee for the last year. And then also things that staff or the schedule show, so. The first one being, and this I know is more than my house was worth that I sold in Manoa, but this is a replacement for our 4100D mower. That's what we call the Batwing. This is our most used mower. Obviously, we use it for the outfield ball diamonds. It has about 4,400 hours on it, sorry. It's in pretty rough shape. I think that I don't know if there's any questions. I know that this is a huge number for people to see. I know that last year we approved a mower for 83, so this is even more, but that's what they're worth. Is it?
Have you shopped around? Do you have any comparisons?
So with this mower, unfortunately, John Deere does not make a front deck mower anymore. This was and we're pretty pleased with it. It's just used. It's very well used, so unfortunately, there aren't a lot of options for something this big out there.
It's awfully expensive, but I don't know. If I have a price with that.
Yeah.
But there's other ones besides John Deere around.
Yeah,
There's
we did look at,
Aaron's, what about Aaron's? Did you check them out?
I don't think he did, no.
Parents are gravelly from
Gravely, he would look at,
Seymour.
yeah, yeah,
They make it, Gravely makes the commercial grade, so does Aaron's.
yeah.
You don't know whether they ever checked any of them out, huh?
They did look at Gravely,
They did.
Yeah.
Where they were more, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
yeah,
Does Kubota make one that big?
they do not. So,
You seem to see a lot of towns do have the Toro. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like so everybody.
well, they're local, I mean, that's essentially made in Toma, possibly. And then that's our only capital equipment request this year, and then the projects I'll go into. Oh, shoot. What's going on here? Oh,
Commercial break.
I don't know. Did I do that?
I think so.
Oh, gosh. Okay, good. So this is just a,
Many goats could we get for that?
so this is just a continuation of the project that we started last year, with the wall repair. I picked the lowest, cost area this year just because of the amount of, requests that I'm asking for. This is to repair and reset the coping there. This is right on Warner Allen as well. So they will be doing the piece approved for 2023 in 2024. So they can just work on this all together, and that's with Holton Brothers Construction, that is doing the stadium right now.
Seems like we've been kind of talking about this for a long time and nobody's really seeing any progress. I was just wondering, has there been some progress?
They're there right now and doing a lot. Yeah, yeah.
On the wall? Yeah.
It's the same group that's working on the stadium right now that they'll be doing the wall. So yeah, that's, the stadium's a priority right now, just so that we can get on the field sooner. Yeah,
Is any of this in that grant?
no,
No.
no, that was just to go through the process in the historical registry.
All right.
Mhm. Luke looked into and priced out all of our ball diamonds. If you look in our or in our project list right now, we've went, or over our budget list right now, we've went over a considerable amount in our ball diamond field mix, fertilization and seed projects. This is just putting a line item of capital that we can use. I would like to have a schedule to this so that each year we can redo, strip, resurface and outfield, and resurface the outfield, lay black dirt down and fertilize and reseed. We have staff now that is experienced in this. They're good at this. They know what they're doing with the fertilization and what seed to use. We hired a guy that came from the co-op, so he knows his ag really well. All of this work, like as I'm saying, it would be done in-house. Part of that is to finish, this is all, as you notice, in Pfeiffer Park, finish the ADA sidewalk to the playground. The picture here just shows that we have this continuation, but this is not handicap accessible. This is gravel. This is actually just a path, I think, that may have possibly gotten worn down by kids. And then we just put some pea gravel down there, and that's not ADA accessible. Youth baseball has plans to potentially move this basketball court over to the east, so that we can have a direct line here. So that's, a conversation I've been having with them. We'd lift this blacktop and they would build a basketball court for us. So that's another project that they're working on for the department. That would kind of fall in line. As you'll see, I'm kind of working on Pfeiffer Park right now because I'm seeing youth baseball put in the money to us, to our assets. So I think that it's important for us to show that we're also dedicated to that park as well. If they're gonna put in some money, it would be appropriate for us to as well. So this would just be for one diamond at a time we do. So. Another request, $19,000 to replace the cabinets and countertops at the Washington Center Community Center. I didn't finish this, sorry. But as you can see here in the picture, this is a common site around the entire edge of the countertop. As you see down here, the closure is not working properly. There's several handles falling off of it. The lamination is pulling apart. On the sink side, we've had to re-caulk around the sink several times. And that facility is used by Wapaka County for their meal site and then also for our programming. And this cost is with our staff doing the work.
That's also community rentals as well.
Yes, we do rent that out. And yeah, it's a revenue for the department for sure.
Any idea of how old the cabinets are?
They've been there since I've been here, so at least 21 years. I would say they're 23 years old. Seems right. Every year we try to circulate the fitness equipment at the gym. We'd like to start to replace the universal machine that's in there. These three pieces total $10,300. Lat pull down, this is kind of your upper body. Right now, the current equipment was put in place before we had our renovations with McKinstry that came in and did the Johnson control work to make sure that our air circulating properly. When our air wasn't circulating properly, we had a lot of rust issues, a lot of damage to this equipment because of that. And now that we fixed that problem, we should start thinking about upgrading our equipment so that it's not rusty. Staff has had to replace cables and pins due to wear and tear just because of use. This is solely if I get a grant. I wouldn't purchase this unless I don't get a grant, but a lot of times you need at least a placemaker of upfront money. This is just it's a pit toilet. It's just like the one at Shaw's Landing. Spoke with Wapaka County. They're very pleased with this product. If you've ever used one, it's actually pretty nice. They also have them at Keller Lake out in the Marion area. My intent is to apply for a grant through Fox Cities. They have a trail program that I would be able to, it would be grant eligible. Because my thought is that the J.C.'s Dog Park, which we do have some donations from, and then also the Newton Blackmore Trail could use it. So between the two groups, I would have it paid for through that.
Not exactly familiar with it. Is it something that needs to be pumped?
Yep, yep. So we have a brand new sewer machine that can do that. It's got a back hatch, so it's back behind here and it's just a lift up station. This $59,000, they're $9,000 and $9,833 a piece to replace the bleachers at Pfeiffer Park. Once again, we're at Pfeiffer Park with renovations. Currently, they are a slab of wood with a plastic cover over them. And if you walk along them, there's a lot of give. In many spots, the wood is exposed due to the edges cracking off. When I walked through there the other day, there's end caps that are just sitting on the ground that have cracked and rotted off. So replacing them with a powder coated aluminum, 5-row 19-foot to replace what we have for seating now there. And then having a middle aisle railing for, for assistance. They're the equivalent of what Memorial Park has. So we would salvage one of the ones that we have at Pfeiffer and move that to Cross Two, because Cross Twos is completely garbage. That would go to the dump.
Gonna
So.
get a bleacher at Costco.
Yeah, yep. Every single thing that I've looked at for pricing this year, I'm like, wow, that's went up. This has went up $3,000 since we've replaced the ones at Memorial, so. So we've talked a lot about tennis courts, since I started. We've gotten a lot of complaints at the office about Abraham. That's where people use the courts the most for pickleball. This is a full surface coverage. It's a new kind of winter friendly coating that they put on an asphalt surface. They fill and level the low areas and then pour this in place. So that's just a thought. Our tennis courts, I have not heard from the school district about what their plans are, and that's why I went to Abraham right away, because we'll sit on Hatton until I hear more from the school district. And between Abraham and Pfeiffer, these are probably the worst off, so.
Pfeiffer isn't marked for pickleball, is that
No,
just Abraham? Is?
right, yeah. Yeah,
Is Pfeiffer in really bad shape, their tennis courts?
I haven't walked through them. But they don't have the cracked lip like Abraham does. Abraham has lips that are like an inch, which they need to be. It's dangerous, honestly. So.
Is there any kind of warranty with this? I mean,
Yeah.
you're saying there's a lip, so obviously it's gonna continue to move. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
and
surface.
actually, so I'm just gonna go back a second because I have some notes here. Once it's laid down, that's made for that freeze and thaw fill. So it's a 5-year warranty. Seams are bonded, so it's kind of like a mesh that they lay down over the cracks so that they flex with the seasons. But yeah, it's a 5-year warranty. There is a sound difference for players, but it's not extreme.
That wasn't any of the stuff we ever looked at.
No,
for
this
hat.
was brand new. This isn't the tile system that we had talked about. Tile systems aren't for everybody. I've played on them. I've played volleyball and basketball on them, and they're kind of hard on your knees, believe it or not, even though they say that it shouldn't be. But even like trip fall hazard, like if you fall on tile, it's for sure blood. But yeah, this is a little bit softer. Kind of catered to the pickleball era. And then, of course, we talked about this and I got the final number for it. Final drawing, well, not final drawing, but this is the drawing, that I felt got the best usage. You'll see that they added some more parking, to the east. Which can accommodate, you know, the peddlers or paddlers, and the users of the sculpture park. This one, once again, as I've said before, will be eligible for several grants. And one of those being the 50/50 DNR Boating and Waterways Fund. We also have money set aside for our boat launch fund for this project. And then, the trail system here, would be eligible for, DOT Safe Routes to School Reconstruction Grant. So all of this is not city expense.
We still looking at the trail going all the way down to the, say, the far west end of the boat launch. And then,
That's not included in this quote,
but we were still
but
looking.
we
at
are
that.
still looking at it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that could possibly be done in-house if it was just wood chip trail for now. So,
Yeah, we gotta make sure we leave enough room by the water's in there for the gazebo that's there too for people, you know, for parking
Yeah.
in that area there too.
yeah, yeah, so as you'll see, this is splitting us with the Waters property. So I don't know, that's a conversation if you guys want to have that, but I spoke with Luke about it a little because we do, you know, snow removal and things like that. There's a water, or there's a storm drain right there that we would move back here so that wouldn't be a problem because it has been clogged up with ice several times. And he recommended, he thought this would work well. So I don't know if there's any questions, comments, or concerns with that.
Does this keep the gazebo?
Yep.
That is there? Okay,
Yeah, it's right about here.
that's what I thought. I just
Yeah,
wasn't
and
sure.
it gives enough green space, so if you came down for Fall Fest and saw how they had that set up, this leaves for quite nice area for setup for a festival like that still. Because we pushed down, there was a lot of green space here that we were able to eliminate. So we don't need that much there.
When we get that pier along there, you're gonna see a lot more people fishing,
Yeah,
because that does get fished a lot right now.
yeah,
And there's no place really to fish
Mhm.
outside of off the shore.
and this does include that pier cost as
Yeah.
well.
And the pier would go where?
Right now, I actually just walked down there. Potentially right in here, the way the water flows, and the way the shoreline hits, it's a little bit lower there. It's quite high up here, and you would have quite a gangplank from there. So I thought if we could potentially go here.
Guy that came here this past winter,
Mhm.
that's the area we were in right there, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That big tree,
yep,
yeah,
yep. Oh, from Schmitz, yeah,
yeah, and he thought that would be the best because of the slope of the
yeah,
banking.
right.
But then you extend the walkway all the way down to where the art group is planning to do some work down there between there and the bait shop.
So this does include repaving the trail from the Waters to John's, to the end of John's. All the way around till it hits the parking lot. That's the way that we get this covered by the boating and waterways fund. Because then they can walk from the launch.
Whole thing.
Would that pier be similar to there?
Yes. Well, actually more like the one that's across the river there, from St. John's Park. So it would raise and lower with
on
the water.
Yeah.
That's all I have for final numbers right now. This is a project that I'm also working on that I told them that I would mention. Actually, this is youth baseball or softball. I apologize. The youth softball is looking at doing some fundraising efforts and putting together a proposal for you for a bathroom remodel or a new bathroom at Memorial Park. They would hope to have a project done by 2024 for their season. But they're not, they haven't gotten their final numbers yet, so I'll have an update for you as that progresses. Right now, their preliminary cost was around 150,000, so.
And that was the presentation that we had seen a few months ago. Okay.
Yep, I had them go back and reformulate some things. We're in that era where we need to have single stall bathrooms. And so they went back and talked to building supply and got a new blueprint made where it's single stall, a toilet and a sink, a toilet and a sink, a toilet and a sink with a closed door. So they still have to work on numbers for that blueprint.
Anybody got any other questions about the capital projects?
I do. First, I'd like to thank New London Youth Baseball for making our community look better. And congratulate Park and Recs for the Newton Blackmore Trail that was just recently had their ribbon cutting. While we were there, it was brought up that Luke Hammonds had an idea of creating a archery range out by the dog park. I thought that was a great idea, and I think that's something that our community would really utilize.
Bringing it up right now.
So there's a nice little piece of property there, and I'd like to see that on capital projects as a future project. I don't think it would cost very much to get that kicked off and running. But I do think it would be highly utilized by our community and probably other communities coming to ours.
So the location that he's talking about is off of River Road. This is our dog park right here, parking lot here. The bathroom that I was considering would be right here. This land is owned by the city and it was purchased with stewardship funds, which means that it has to stay a recreational or undeveloped land. Right now, we use it for fill overflow, honestly. We have millions over there. We have wood chips. We take our snow out there from downtown, so.
Yeah, it's reasonably flat and everything, so yeah.
Yep. Anything here that you see is something that we brought in.
And looking at that piece of property, and anybody that knows anything about archery, there's a lot of room for development there and new ideas and just giving out the archery goers a place to do the recreation within our city.
Used to be a real nice archery range here up behind Floral Hill.
Mhm.
That whole area in there was a big archery range with elevated target platforms. I don't know if they still have the one out at the Fishing Game Club or not
Yes.
anymore. They have that one there yet?
Who managed the one up by Floral Hill? Was it a city-owned property or?
Yeah, the city, it was,
Oh, really?
well, I take that back. Ted Ebert owned it all.
Okay,
And I think he might have still had it, or else he donated it to somebody and then they had an archery range there and then it just kind of went away.
Yeah.
That's been 50, 60, 70 years ago.
yeah, I can certainly do some research on it.
Yeah, I would think that that's a great idea. They could Something, some guys build some platforms and stuff there for shooting and stuff. I would think something really good.
Some of the conversation that we had out at the dog park was just that definitely archery, for sure, though not firearms, just because of the proximity of the dog park. We want to respect that some dogs don't love that noise. And it can cause quite a problem.
But that is a great location for archery and you can start out and expand as big as
Mhm.
I was
Who wants to do
talking about having a trailer park or a parking, I don't know what you call it,
The campground.
a recreational park
Campground.
there,
Yeah.
brought up one time. But that wasn't a little dump.
Really unused or very little used site right now.
It's a great undeveloped
And
site.
could
Yeah.
be developed pretty neatly.
What is that, where did that fall in on our comprehensive plan?
I
Recreational
don't
land?
remember seeing it on there.
I don't know where
That's a
it
good
was on
question.
there. Probably was considered recreational land, seen as the trail was there.
stewardship fund.
So, yeah, I would think so, yeah.
Oh, if we have it posted online yet or not.
I thought it was.
I found it,
You did?
yeah. Oh. If you go to. Right,
Right there. Mhm.
It's a big book.
It is. Um, I know that the nature area was talked about.
Develop that land, or are you gonna have land to put your snow and other stuff? with?
That's a good point. We do kind of stretch it out right now, but that's definitely something that we would have to really consider.
It's even, down where you're gonna put your parking lot by the river, I know
Right.
you guys stage snow there as
Yeah.
well. So
Right.
Pack it in on the sledding hill.
I have seen them
It's a big hill.
blow snow over this. I've seen that. We did it.
The new blower will shoot it pretty far.
Yeah,
Does that person that owns that private road back there? Do they keep that plowed regularly or
the city plows that.
the city does?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
One of the former city employees owns the land back by the junkyard that's back here, Mark Oss. He's got a building dock. back
and we
there.
did solve that mystery from the last meeting. The signs were not up because they were wrong.
Oh, for Junction Road.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, we can bring that up.
Yeah.
In a committee meeting for.
And after another meeting.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want some updates and reports that
The only thing that I would like to mention tonight is the years of service and retirement of Patrick Guyette. Patrick will be retiring on next Friday, the 15th. He is our senior parks caretaker. He's done a phenomenal job, with landscape, and this year he stepped in, kind of taking over the gardener position along with his other duties, making sure that, all of our flower beds were taken care of, all the baskets and things like that. He's also a master woodworker. He came to us from a shipbuilding company, so They built wooden ships and he's a phenomenal worker and I wish him the best in his retirement.
Thank you for your service, Becca.
Mhm.
Review potential items for future meetings.
We can put, for sure, we can, I can bring back some of the archery range conversation, and the special events guide, we're gonna need to talk about that soon. So,
Would that memorial bathrooms be a?
and potentially if they're ready, yeah,
Maybe something not called for the Piper Park stuff.
what's that?
Maybe it's stuff for the Piper Park for the lot.
Memorial Park,
Memorial.
yep, and then also the Hatton Stadium,
Renovation.
netting system, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To our next meeting date.
Mm,
Third.
7th? November 7th?
Election day.
That's election day.
Oh, okay, so that's up to you guys if you want to go the 14th or the 6th back to back with you guys, Mike.
Piggyback.
You want to,
Piggyback?
do we want to piggyback it with Public Works?
Good. Nobody has a problem with that.
Is that all right with you, Mike?
But just inform we don't have an election here that day.
Oh,
Don't have?
Or would we not?
hmm,
So we can have it
Okay.
covered done? There's no election? Okay, the 7th then.
I'll believe you. Happy the election clerk.
Right, right.
Yeah, look for a motion for adjournment. Motion by Bernie. Second by Mr. Yeager. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or adjourned?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I got the last two of your.
Yeah.
Not much. I was messing around and a lot of the kids just said they really like the kids. Park system. Yeah.